Hello there, everyone. TheAndrata here, and welcome to part 4, the final part of our Industrial Foregoing mod spotlight. Where today we're going to be going over all of our miscellaneous machines here that are available in Industrial Foregoing, as well as checking out some of the cool, less known setups, how to generate 25 million RF per tick, and at the end of it all, we're going to set off a nuke. If you want to see what it's all about, keep watching. All right, so let's dive into all of our miscellaneous machines. First off, we have the water condensator. Doesn't require power, though you can give it power and it will process faster. But it is similar to the aqueous accumulator from the thermal series, in which it will generate water, an infinite amount of water. Requires 2 water source blocks to be near it. Turn it on. Start generating water. And again, like I said, if we give it power, it will operate faster. But as you can see here, it's generating power. Bam. Generating water. We give it power, it generates water even faster. Add-ons makes it even faster than that. Go for it. Next, we have the dye mixer. The dye mixer takes your oh man, I cannot remember the name. Your base colors, red, green, and blue, RGB. Insert your dyes, your red dye, your green dye, and your blue dye, and it's going to liquefy them essentially. And from there, you can create any other dye that you want. So say we want cyan dye or light blue dye. Turn the machine on. It's going to use some of these depending on, what dye it is that we're creating. And we got light blue dye. So for that, it used, some red and some blue. Simple. You need all the other dyes. Give it your base dyes. So that means you just have to automate these 3 and you can get whatever other dyes that you want. Next is going to come our Spores Recreator. Spores Recreator recreates mushrooms, essentially. You have 2 options here. You can either create brown and red mushrooms, and that just requires power and water. Or you can recreate your nether mushrooms, your crimson fungus, and your warped fungus, and that requires lava. So we turn our machines on, it's going to do its thing, and we're going to duplicate our mushrooms. Bam. So we should ultimately end up with 4 there. Turn this one on, and we'll end up with 4 from this machine as well. And there we go. Spores Recreator. If you need a lot of mushrooms, this is a way to do it. Moving on, we have our block placer and our block breaker. Again, both requiring power, and you can see here I have them looping through a piece of cobblestone. So the block placer just placed the cobblestone, the breaker broke it, it's getting piped in, bam, it's right there, got piped back over to here, it's going to place it, break it, block placer, block breaker. Both great machines. You can use the block placer if you wanted to automate, say, the latex. You could set up wood inside of here, place it so that it's putting the wood inside of your latex extractors and automate the latex extractors and have the block placer. Or if you wanted to have the block breaker set up to automatically break redstone ore, say you're mining up silk touch redstone ore and you want to have the block breaker break the redstone, that would work. Fluid collector and fluid placer is the exact same thing, but for fluids. So we have the fluid placer, just placed water. The collector is going to pick it up, pipe it back over to the placer. It's going to place it. Same exact process here. Fluid placer, fluid collector. This is the mob detector. And the way that this works is within its range, which is by default right in front of it, 1 by 1 square, it will detect mobs. So if we go in here and we place, I'm going to grab another piece of this glass. We place, some zombies in here. And we try and avoid that happening. It will output however many are in there. So currently there are 6 zombies in here. And the mob detector is outputting that there is a power of 6 from its redstone signal. Allow you to automate. Say you wanted to only run your mob crusher when you have 10 mobs inside of there. You could automate it using a mob detector, have them all cram into one area, or set range upgrades in here, detect the mobs. Next, we have the marine fisher. Marine Fisher does what it says. It fishes for you. Place it over a water source. I don't absolutely know if you have to have at least a 3x3. That's how I've always done it. It's possible it could just require a 1x1 or a 1 square. I'm actually just going to go ahead and peaceful mode this so they go away and stop talking and being annoying. Anyway, Marine Fisher, give it power, turn it on, let it do its thing, and it will start fishing for you. Great way to get some of the rare stuff that you can only get from fishing, like fishing rods with luck of the sea and stuff like that, or leather, saddles, all that good stuff. Marine Fisher, just let it run. It's passive, does its own thing. Next, we have the Material Stonework Factory, one of the most powerful mods or items in Industrial Foregoing. Also, I would say probably one of the most controversial because it's lazy, I guess. But again, Industrial Foregoing, automate all the things. Material Stonework Factory is a cobble generator. And it does more than cobble, really. You have a couple options. The UI can be a little bit confusing. You have a lot of inputs, inventories, and outputs. But basically what you need to do is put water and lava. And if you're just generating cobblestone, all you need is 1 bucket of water, 1 bucket of lava, and that's it. It will not consume any of that to generate. It will just continue to use that 1 bucket. It just needs it to be present. But you have other things you can make. Netherrack. It needs 250 millibuckets of water, 400 of lava, and it's going to use, 250 and 200. Granite, obsidian, andesite, diorite, cobblestone. You can make a lot of stuff. Obsidian is pretty powerful. It requires a bucket of lava for every operation, but you can generate obsidian pretty easily. Then from there, you have an action that you can perform on the corresponding inventory, right? So say, for example, we generated cobblestone, and we are going to disable all of these, and we're just going to set this to smelting mode, okay? So turn the machine on, which I think I have a lever. Let it run. It's going to create the cobblestone, and then it's going to smelt the cobblestone, and then it's going to create cobblestone, and then it's going to smelt cobblestone. And if we set this up to smelt, it will make smooth stone for you. Every operation is one of these operations. Make sense? We could then 2x2 craft this, if I could find it. 2x2 craft. So once we, it's going to create a cobblestone. It's going to go ahead and turn it to stone, turn it to smooth stone. Then it's going to do a 2x2 craft. Smooth stone must not have a 2x2 craft. You get the picture, though. Or we could crush the cobblestone. So it'll create it and then crush it into gravel. We could then crush it again into sand. Then we can smelt that sand into glass. You see how this can be very powerful, especially if you get full speed upgrades inside of here. Oh, you can put more than one processing upgrade in here, though it doesn't seem to be. No, it's doing 2 processes. Oh my, that makes it even more powerful. I did not know that was even possible. Generally, you can only put 1 machine in here, but it's doing 3 processes essentially every single time. Add some speed upgrades and efficiency. Let's do industrial add-ons. Let's add a speed and an efficiency. And there we go. Look, we're just generating tons of glass. And you can do, you can do stone, you can do, there's a lot of stuff that the Material Stonework Factory can make. More than I can even go over in this. If we go over to the Material Stonework and hit U, you'll see everything it can do. Polished andesite, dolomite, stone, smooth stone, stone bricks, cracked stone bricks, glass, silicon. Cobble is break. You'll make refined storage silicon, sandstone, nether bricks, obsidian, like all kinds of stuff inside of here. Look, there's even another page. This is for the stonework generation. So yeah, Material Stonework Factory. It is gated. It does require you to get pink slime and an advanced machine frame. So you need quite a bit of pink slime to make this. But once you do, you really don't need a Cobbleworks. Mycelial Stonework Factory does it all for you. Next, we are going to come to our storage components of Industrial Foregoing. You have the options or the ability to store liquids and items, and you can store a lot of each depending on what tier you are going to go with. So there are 5 total tiers. You have the common, pity, simple, advanced, and supreme. And as you go up, you can store more and more of each item. These are singular items. So, for example, this black hole tank, if I were to put water in here, the only thing it would be able to store would be water. But in it can hold 16 buckets of water. Pity can hold 64 buckets of water. Simple is 1,024, 65,536 buckets for advanced, and 2,147,483 buckets for the supreme of that one liquid. Items is the same way. One item can go in here. Did not mean to do that. Did not mean to do that. Well, that was unfortunate. You get the picture though. A common black hole unit. Let's get that back. It's also a bummer because that was my redstone or my flux cell that had my it was already pre-set up for me. A little bit of a bummer. Anyway, common black hole unit can hold. Oh, I just did it again. No, give me that. Give me my item. I did it again. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, well, those were my pre-set up items, my tank and everything that I used for powering all of these things. I just want to see how many items you can hold. Okay, forget you. 16, it can hold 1,000 some odd items. 2,048, there we go. My goodness, give me this back one more time. Put you there, just stay there. Don't bother me. The next tier can hold 16,384 of any one item, 524,288 in the simple black hole, 67,108,864 in the advanced, and max int, which is 2,147,483,647 of any one item in the supreme black hole unit. Yeah, ridiculous amounts of storage. And these can also, you can void extra items. So if you were pumping cobblestone into this, you can void. You can turn the display on and off for what's inside of the machine. So like if I put cobble inside of this, you'll see it says we have 64. We can turn off the display. You can have it void. You can have it display the amount. You can have it, yeah. Next is the black hole controller, which is a controller for your black holes. And the way that this works is it has 16 slots inside of it. And inside of these slots, you can put your black hole units. And it basically makes it so that you can put 16 different black hole units in one single block space. With the caveat being you do not have a UI. You cannot access anything from here. Like if I had fluid in here and I put a bucket here, I'd be able to extract some of the fluid. With this, you cannot do it. You have to have some other way of accessing the items, which is what we have here with our refined storage. So inside of here, I have 8 black hole units with cobblestone, and I have 16 of ether gas of common black hole tanks. Okay. If we come over here and look at our grid, we're going to see we have 16,000 cobblestone available to our system. We take it out. One of these now has less. If we take our external storage and we set it to a higher priority than we actually don't even have a disk here. So either way it would work. But what you would want to do if you wanted your cobble to always come into here is to set that to be a high priority. And you wanted your ether gas to always come into here, set that to a higher priority. We come over here, put this back in, and now it went back into here. Same thing with our ether gas. We have 128 buckets of ether gas available, and it's all inside of here. That is the black hole controller and accessing through refined storage and your base system, your base storage systems through Industrial Foregoing. Now we are going to head over to our final section in which we talk about some of the fun items for Industrial Foregoing. So I will see you over there. Okay. If you have ever played with Extra Utilities 2, you would be familiar with the Rainbow Generator. Extra Utilities 2 had a bunch of different generators in the pack that used various items, anywhere from TNT to nether stars to potions to pink dye. If you had all of those generators set up, automated and running, and you set the Rainbow Generator up, The rainbow generator would generate 25 million RF per tick. Industrial Foregoing has duplicated that mechanic inside of it, which is what we have set up here. Okay. So we have our pitiful generator. The lowest of generators just uses coal, generates power. We have a biofuel generator, which generates from biofuel. You give it biofuel and it will generate. Biofuel is generated from a fluid encapsulator, bioreactor, which I realized I did not set this up. Bioreactor, you give it items, you give it like biological items, it will generate biofuel. I realize that's one item I never set up for this demonstration. I apologize for that. Anyway, biofuel in the biofuel generator. We have the furnace mycelial, which is basically an upgraded version of your pitiful generator. So give it some coal, it will generate power. Next is the slimy mycelial generator. Give it slime balls and milk, and it will do its thing. Culinary, give it some food, it will generate power based off of food. Potions, give it any potions. And you can see I have this because I have this automated because we have bottles that we have to deal with. Because once it uses the potion, it then dumps the glass bottle back out, and you have to deal with that. So we have this automated with a chest and pipes back here. So we have that going. Next to that is a disenchantment, same exact thing with an enchanted book. So you feed it enchanted books and it will generate power. The ender mycelial generator, ender eyes. The explosive mycelial generator is TNT. This machine is very loud when it is running, by the way, so just something to keep in mind. You don't want this in your main base. You want to put this somewhere where you do not have to hear it. You will see in a minute when we run this. Frosty mycelial generator requires snow or snow blocks. When this one is running and you come near it, you get slowed. So just keep that in mind. You don't want to be near the Frosty mycelial generator. Halitosis is dragon's breath. Magma is lava. Makes sense. Pink mycelial generator is pink dye. The nether star mycelial generator is nether stars. The death mycelial generator, you may be wondering, wither skeleton skulls. Rocket mycelial generator is firework rockets. The Crimed mycelial generator is crimson fungus or warped fungus, either one. And then the metallurgic metallurgic mycelial generator. This one took me a while to figure out. A lot of these aren't documented in the book, by the way, so I had to figure out most of these, what these do based off of memory of Extra Utilities 2 and a little bit of, trial and error. But it is liquid meat and gold. And I think it can be any input, but it had a picture of gold here, so I put gold. But yeah, it's meat and gold. And those are your generators from Industrial Foregoing, and each one, depending on which one it is going to generate more RF per tick than the others. Yeah. And then we have our mycelial reactor. And again, this will generate 25 million RF a tick when all of these machines are running at the same time. We do have Flux Networks in the pack, which I did a mod spotlight for prior to this one coming out. If you want to know how Flux Networks work, check that out. But we have Flux Networks running or set up so that we can see this. Limits are disabled on all points, so we can see exactly how much power is going to come out. Then we have an infinity charger. And if you've never dealt with the infinity charger before, it is a charger designed for the infinity items from Industrial Foregoing, which is a bunch of different items we'll talk about. Right now, I have an infinity trident placed into here to absorb all of our power that we're going to generate. And the infinity charger allows power transfer at max int. So you're not capped, because like a thermal flux cell is capped at like 128,000, I believe, is the max power that it can move around at any one time when fully upgraded. This can transfer 2 billion power to the infinity charger if you were able to produce that much power. So it's uncapped power movement, essentially. So yeah, let's get started. So what we're going to do, and keep in mind, this is going to get loud. I have turned my volume down but the TNT generator it's just a loud block. So I will turn it off as soon as we can. So what we're going to do, as soon as I set this up to the same network that these are on, which is the high power input, it's going to start dumping all the power from these machines into them, which is going to kick them on because they're going to start, trying to fill their buffer back up, which will kick the mycelial reactor on, and we will see how much power, we actually generate from all of this. So let's go. So there you go. You can see the effects. The mycelial reactor turned on. It gets this little, glowy effect. It's generating power. And so far, we've already dumped 6 billion RF into this. We already hit the legendary tier almost immediately. It's ridiculous. If you ever need power, 25 million RF. If you can automate all this, not in a creative world, more power to you. I will tell you the... let me actually just break this, and that'll shut those off as soon as they back stuff on their power. The hardest one that would be to automate would probably be the rockets, because I had to craft these. Even though I'm in creative, if you spawn rockets, they don't spawn with the flight duration on them. So I had to actually craft them and then duplicate those. I don't know if you build rockets inside of a... Yeah, that's really loud. This is from my Flux Network spotlight, by the way. It is just so loud. We're even over here and it's still going. Okay. I don't know if you automated this through like refined storage, if it would get the flight duration, but it does not work in creative mode, let me tell you. Is this one running, the Frosty? Frosty, you need to be polling from here. And there we go. There, I just wanted to demonstrate. You get slowness 5 while that is running, so just don't stand near it. But yeah, within that, minute that was running, we generated 16 billion RF dumped into this Infinity Trident. That's a ridiculous amount of power. So yeah, that is the Mycelial Reactor network setup. Finally, we get to play with some of the toys from Industrial Foregoing. So inside of Industrial Foregoing, we have a couple different items. Infinity Trident, Infinity Drill, Infinity Launcher, Infinity Nuke, Saw, Hammer, Backpack, and a Meat Feeder. And we'll start with the Meat Feeder. But we'll bring all these other things out here with us. And we're actually going to go like away, mainly because this Nuke, I've never actually used it. It's new, and I want to see what it does. The Meat Feeder. The Meat Feeder is a great item if you're playing a survival world and you always forget to eat. Fill this up with liquid meat and put it into your head slot if you have the Curios, or just keep it in your inventory if you don't, and it will automatically feed you, and it keeps you saturated. It keeps your saturation about half full, so you never have to worry about being able to sprint or jump or do any of that stuff. So Meat Feeder, super great. Infinity Backpack. If you ever played in 1.12 or 1.6 now, or 1.16, the Dank Null, Infinity Backpack is pretty much the exact same thing. Each one of these slots inside of here can hold max int of items, and you can set it up to void if you want it to be able to, void the item. If you want it to refill the item from an attached chest or anything, it will automatically do so. And it takes place of the Meat Feeder. So you can put meat into here, liquid meat, and it will feed you. You can put biofuel into here, and it will automatically provide fluid to your infinity tools. And yeah, Infinity Backpack. It can pick up experience, which it will also store. You can have it magnet. Shiny gives you this little effect around your character. You can see here, we have a, glowy effect around us. That's shiny. Yeah, so that is the Infinity Backpack. The Infinity Hammer is basically a super high damaging item. 75 attack damage, 2 attack speed. And it's a 13 by 13 by 13 area. If we shift right click while we have this, it's going to do... No, we should be able to... There we go. Shift right click like in the sky. Opens up the UI, which allows you to modify its settings. And it also has beheading, so you can get heads from it. Charging means that it's going to refill on energy. If you have a battery or flux networks or anything, it will continue charging. turn that off when you reach your desired level, or else you will, dump all of your power into this, because it does not have a max power input. It will just keep putting power in as much as it wants to. So there's our power and biofuel. Biofuel is used instead of power if you have biofuel in here, because every time we use this, you can see our power has gone down. Actually, not yet. But the power does go down as you use it. Like if we kill this donkey, bam, he died. Well, it didn't use power. Oh, it used biofuel. Anyway, makes sense. Infinity Hammer kills things in a 13 by 13 area. So if we go over here and smack this cow, all the cows around here. Oh, okay. Well, it's making me out to be a liar. Maybe it's only in front of it. Anyway, if you had a bunch of mobs in front of you, you can kill all the mobs. Makes sense. And if I remember correctly, it's enchantable. You can enchant your Infinity Hammer if you really wanted to, and all your other Infinity tools, to be honest with you. Next up comes the Infinity Saw, which again has a UI, 13 by 13 area, has biofuel, and it's just a saw. It does do 4 attack damage if you really wanted to use it as a weapon, but if we just, you can... Interesting that it's not actually... It doesn't cut down the tree, but it's giving us all the items as if it was. Yeah, that's the Infinity Saw. I don't know why that's not working properly, but... Weird. But it's an instant break. It just does not like this dark oak, apparently. It could be because these are creative items that I've spawned in and not actually made, possibly. But it's a saw. I mean, yeah, there we go. Instant breaks to the trees. Don't know why it's not working on the dark oak trees, but you get what I'm doing. You get what it's intended to do. Okay, next we have the well, we'll do the nuke last. We have the launcher, and the way that the launcher works is that it is a mob imprisonment catcher at a distance. So if we get a mob imprisonment tool, we can spawn mobs with this, or we can capture. And you can, if you change the settings, we're going to say we're in capture mode. So if I shoot at this chicken, it will capture the chicken for me. And then if I release it, it will release the chicken. It also does have a damage mode, which I do have to land for, in which it will, shoot and then damage entities, which basically, it captured that anyway. Well, maybe if I... Okay, well, obviously I'm a pretty bad aim. Yeah, it's just not doing anything. Infinity Launcher. This is a new item. I haven't seen this in there yet, so maybe it's not 100% up to... Oh, look, it's on capture mode. No, I want damage mode. Yeah. Where's my chicken? Yeah, there we go. It's kind of like a bow. 4 attack damage. The drill makes sense. It's a drill. Does drilly things. You can set its area however you want it to. And it's when you're drilling like this. Again, the drill is not working as it's supposed to. It's instant braking, but it's not doing its area, which is weird. Again, I think this might be because I cheated these in. But anyway, what this will do is an 11 by 11 up to a 13 by 13 area of braking. And then the Trident is, a standard Trident. You can throw it, boop, and kill enemies with it if you wanted to. Or, which really cool with this one, is you have Riptide, you have Channeling, you have Loyalty. Loyalty means it'll come back to you, but you can only use one of each. So if I throw it, the Channeling causes lightning, and it stops these from appearing, so it'll come back to you. Boop. Kind of like Thor's hammer. And yeah, that's the Trident. And then lastly, we have the Nuke, which is another item I have never done or played with before. But what I know we need is a flint and steel. And we are going to fly pretty far away for this because I think it has like a 256 block radius, and I don't want that anywhere near my flux network setup because, well, you never know if I'm going to need that again. So let's just like go over here, and we're going to set this up like right on top of this mountain, and let's see what happens. This is a first for me as well, so we'll see what happens here. I wanted to experience this with y'all. So we're going to place this down, and then you have to activate it, and then you have to flint and steel it, and you probably want to run away, I imagine, if you were in a survival world. I don't know what its countdown is, but I kind of want to watch the explosion happen. So like, let's just go up here. Probably a minute. I'm trying to see, is there a sound? Can I hear it like charging up? Are you gonna do it? I mean, you look pretty intense. Oh yeah, listen to it. Oh yeah, it's charging up. It's charging up. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's a much bigger area of effect than I thought it was going to be. Holy cow. All right, that may have hit my flux network area. Jeez Louise, that is a big explosion. From what I understand, it actually uses the same code from Draconic Evolution's explosion when the reactor explodes as this. Wow, look at all this. Look at this mess. Excuse me. Where are all my chunks? Oh my. Wow. I just want to find the edge of the destruction. There we go. This is as far as it went. Well, that's good at least. So I don't have to worry about it, having destroyed my Flux Networks area over there. But yeah, that is the Infinity Nuke. That is pretty dang cool. And yeah, that is it for our Industrial Foregoing mod spotlight. We covered a lot in this, from how to set up Industrial Foregoing to automating the dissolution chamber, animal farm, mob farms, plant farms, wither farms, ore laser, wither milker, enchanting automations, liquefying ores into meat and then tripling them, miscellaneous machines, mycelial reactor networks, and a freaking nuke that we just set off. So if you enjoyed this mod spotlight series, please let me know. And if you have any suggestions for future mod spotlights that you would like to see a breakdown of, let me know in the comments. I'll do, if I like the mod and everything and it hasn't really been done before, or, if it hasn't been done with my, special flair or anything like that, we'll definitely check it out. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed this. The subscriptions definitely help, as you hear this from every YouTuber. If you've watched any YouTube video before, like, comment, subscribe. It helps with the algorithm, gets the videos out there for other people to see. I do appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in our next mod spotlight, or you can check me out in our playthroughs that we do, our Let's Plays on the channel. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.